All right, Destiny 2 Renegades armor tuning. This just dropped like 30 seconds ago, so I'm live reacting to this. I have no idea what's going on. Hello, how are you doing today? Great. All right, let's get into it. Hello from the rewards team. Rewards team, haven't seen them in a while. Today, we're on a second of our 3 sandbox preview articles. They're focusing on armor changes today. Starting off, Graviton Forfeit. Graviton Forfeit was once a workhorse in Destiny 1, but has struggled to find value in D2. Yeah, no, this was mandatory in D1 if you're playing Crucible, Void Hunter, and Crucible. With how abundant access to Invis is nowadays, we've shifted to the exotic to a killstreak / Invis exotic that charges your neutral game as you fade in and out of invisibility, and they're reworking it completely. Now, grants improved grenade, melee, and class ability recharge rates for a moderate duration each time you become invisible. Stacks up to 3 times, and effect time does not deplete while you're invisible. Oh! At 3 stacks of the buff, successive triggers additionally grant a portion of Void Overshield. This kind of sounds crazy. So, like, if you use, like, Stylish Executioner or just any other way to become invisible, go invisible, you get a bonus to your grenade melee class ability recharge. This is basically like, okay, we'll remain invisible the entire time. You're going to have increased ability recharge rate. And with your abilities, you'll be able to re-trigger invis, and you can just get that on a loop over and over and over and over and over. That's basically what we do already with things like Gerfalcon's Hoiberg, where you use vault out rounds to just consistently proc invis. But now Graviton Forfeit is competing for the spot dedicated that used to be Gerfalcon's Hoiberg. Awesome. Omnifrogulus. Given the success of other more support-centric exotics, we're leaning Omnifrogulus into more a support role to allow hunters to fill in a bit of that more selfless fireteam role. Granting the effects of Beyond the Veil to allies now also starts their health and shield regen. This only applies to allies, not the hunter themselves. Shax is watching, so it's going to be a little bit less potent in Crucible because you, as a hunter yourself, can't use it solo. You have to be near a teammate, and only the teammate starts their health and shield regen. That's actually kind of crazy. With Grandmaster Nightfalls coming back, we may actually go back to a meta where we see Smoke Dive come back. Which I'm all about supporting buffs, especially since I'm still on the fence about playing Hunter for the next DLC. Like, I'm thinking about switching to Titan. All right, Lucky Raspberry. Ooh. Lucky Raspberry and Arc Bolts, for that matter, have been out of the limelight for a long while now due to their general slowness and low damage. Truth Nuke. We've done a pass over both Arc Bolt grenades itself and Lucky Raspberry to help with some of the consistency issues as well as bring them in today's build crafting option. So the Arc Bolt grenade ability, the projectile lifetime of the chain, increased projectile lifetime of the chain projectile, which will buff Warlocks as well. This helps hit consistency on moving targets that are near the outer edge of the chain range. Now activates 0.1 seconds faster after initial sweep from 0.6 to 0.5 and increase the max chain range from... Okay, so Arc Bolts are getting a big buff. I haven't used Arc Bolts for quite a long time, so this is awesome. And exotic armor. Now always applies Jolt on grenades hits and returns Arc Bolt energy on the application of the Jolt debuff or triggering the Jolt chains on a target already affected by the debuff. I wonder if this is going to apply to other Jolt effects, or if it's just going to be the Arc Bolt Jolt. If this synergizes with the Jolt debuff... Oh, never mind, it's right here. On any application of the Jolt debuff. Okay, well, Lucky Raspberry is back. Lucky Raspberry is 100% back. This exotic has been DOA for quite a while, since Arc Bolt grenades have just not been good for quite a minute. But, well, yeah, Lucky Raspberry is so back. Orpheus Rig. Alongside some of the ability changes, we've also adjusted how Orpheus Rigs benefit Shadow Shot, looking onto more. So this is just an addition to the Shadow Shot. So increased super duration from 16 seconds to 20 seconds. So, okay, so this is an ability change. All right. So period, Orpheus Rig is getting a soft buff because the super duration for the Shadow Shot is increasing from 16 to 20 seconds. Moving on, Gemini Jesters. As mentioned in our Renegade Weapons Tuning article, Gemini Jesters has been updated to use the new Universal Disorient verb. Okay. To keep the debuff versus players as similar as possible, we gave some adjustments that should help it feel nearly identical to how it was prior. So these are just micro adjustments to make Gemini Jesters competitive, considering that Disorient is now a keyword instead of just being something that exists in the ether. And it looks like that's it. That's it for... Well, that's a little bit disappointing. There's only 5 changes, and of the 5, 3 of them are actual changes. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. Graviton, Omnioculus, and Lucky Raspberry are awesome, right, to get changes, since these have been increasingly useless. Omnioculus used to be good. However, I would have liked for them to put some attention to Blight Ranger, considering that we've gotten kind of the keys jingled in front of our face by DMG, that Blight Ranger is going to be getting tuned since it's going to be getting an ornament, but, you know, Destiny players read the tea leaves, challenge impossible. All right. Moving on, Titan Exotics, Arbor Warden. All right, so Arbor Warden hasn't managed to find much of a niche since introduced to the game. Yeah, you can tell me, right? Yeah, Arbor Warden has been basic. It was DOA as soon as it got introduced to the game in the season of the Witch Queen, whatever it was, season of the Witch, I think. They made some changes that'll let players more aggressively claim space. So picking up 3 orbs of power enhances your next Baronade. Enhanced Baronade spawns a Y pattern of, ooh, okay. This does work with barrier modifications like Dringer's Last or Storm's Keep. I think this is going to be, obviously, this is going to be more useful in Crucible. The Titan Barricade, especially the Towering Barricade, just the ability to just take space, man. Like, you can shoot around a barricade really, really easy, but with a Y pattern, if it actually connects to itself and it is a true Y pattern in that, like, it protects you. But listen, the passive game of Arbor Warden is going to get a little bit better. I know I sound excited. I'm not too excited, though. All right, Dune Marchers. Dune Marchers always been a strong choice in Crucible, but they've had not much of a home in PvE. With the introduction of Bolt Charge and Storm Keep in recent releases, we want to expand access to Bolt Charge or other thematically appropriate sources. Dune Marchers are a perfect fit. Increase maximum chain count from 4 to 7. Each chain hit grants 2 Bolt Charge stacks through Fragment. Oh my god, Glaive melees. Dune Marchers are so back. Indirectly going to be buffing this in Crucible because each chain of Doom Marchers grants 2 Bolt Charge stacks and also Glaive melees can trigger the chain. This is so ridiculous. Oh man. Ursa Furiosa. We're making some lighter QOL and bug fixes, particularly in the difficulty of the activity scaled, how much each absorbed attack scaled to super refund, but not grenade refund, which made that part of the perk feel weaker in easier content. So it should now properly give you more super when blocking damage. Super energy is no longer stored based on enemy difficulty. Super energy, okay, so consistencies. So it's just gonna make you get more super with Ursa Furiosa before, because Ursa Furiosa, if you don't know, it's like where you hold the barricade shield up for your Titan. It basically did nothing outside of Grandmaster content when we used to use it, but in Ultimatum level content, it was DOA. Yeah, it was DOA. Not only because Barricade Shield isn't the best super right now, but pretty much because, you know, who's using it, right? Okay, Second Chance. In activities without barrier champions, Second Chance can be a bit lackluster. While Second Charge's shield throw and applying weaken is somewhat powerful, Sentinel Titan does not have much access to melee generation, so it struggles to get much value out of either effect. We're now giving it a new lease on life with a shield throw-centric gameplay loop that doubles down on the Righteous Defender fantasy. Added, spawns void breaches on shield throw, find a bliss, okay, getting keyword synergy. Grant shield throw melee energy, pick up any void breach, okay, this makes sense. This all makes sense. All right. Now, the Sentinel Shield super ranged attack shield throw now also weakens with the target equipped, and they fixed a bug where the anti-barrier shield throw melee would not bounce to more than 2 targets. Yes, it used to eat your bounces. It doesn't eat your bounces anymore, so this will be good. All right, now this is actually kind of crazy. I would prefer if, in addition to the weaken, the Sentinel super suppressed, you know, if there was a suppression, it would make it so that the barrier champion wouldn't be able to activate its shields, because it's one thing being able to pierce the shields of a barrier champion, but to suppress one in the first place so that it can't activate it, I think that would have been way better, but I digress. Armamentarium. While a second grenade charge is somewhat powerful, it's hard to justify choosing Armamentarium over that gives ability energy in today's sandbox, which is Truth Nuke. Armamentarium is ability design out of Destiny 1. It's not as strong as it seems, despite doubling your grenade capacity. Now grants 10% grenade energy on a weapon's final blow and reloads the player's equipped weapon when you, oh my, that's actually kind of insane. Like, I can only imagine the rotations with Armamentarium with like rocket launchers next season. Like, they've been toning down auto reloads for quite a while, but yeah, that Armamentarium right there, that is actually one of the crazier options. that seriously is very good. All right, actually good. Lion Ramparts. Lion Ramparts. Given the current state of mobility in Sandbox, we thought that Lion Ramparts restriction to only allow hip-fireable shooting while in lift is no longer necessary. Fly free, fellow Titans. Now allows shooting while ADS in lift. This is basically making it a pseudo Wings of Sacred Dawn. Awesome. PKs. TLDR, increased mobility bonus from 25 to 30 and re-added the ability to swap out SMGs. Thank God. PKs were usable in PvE. Were usable. They were usable in PvE. We see some rotations with Titans on PK with Anodate, the new SMG from Desert Perpetual with like rebind rounds and target lock. So this is good. Okay. Warlock exotics. Nothing manacles. Charged and nothing manacles enhanced static grenades have been an awkward spot for some time due to how much slower they deal damage in comparison to the base grenade. They made some adjustments to alleviate some of these inconsistencies. Additionally, nothing manacles has gotten a new perk that lets you cascade your scatter grenades and grant some deserved value when using Chaos Accelerant. Reminder of the changes that were talked about last week, and they changed scatter grenade ability for a faster final projectile speed. Gray and the exotic armor now spawns additional scatter seekers on scatter grenade hit, and the effect can chain add clear demons. That is actually kind of silly. I was considering playing Warlock for next season, but this is just the add clear demon exotic now. If it can chain, I would like to see how far it can chain, but if this thing could chain infinitely, nothing manacles may as well be the best exotic in the game, because by charging your nothing manacles, specifically on Prismatic Warlock, you are able to get Devour and spawn spawn Stasis Bleak Watcher turrets at the same time. So, hey, listen, nothing manacles is going to be crazy. Mark my words. Briar Binds enables a fun and unique playstyle for Void, but like many other kill-oriented exotics, it struggles to scale. We've made some adjustments to help it build to its maximum benefit quicker and also give it a bit more value in its earlier gameplay loop. Now you need fewer kills to max out the Void Soul bonus damage, decreased to 4 from 6, so a 50% 30% decrease in the total amount of kills you need. Additionally, the Void Soul now does more damage based on the amount of time it has been deployed at targets, up to 30% more damage after 10 seconds, so it does scale. The Void Soul doesn't last the longest, so maxing out after 10 seconds, personally, I don't think this is going to be that significant, but I digress. Storm Dancer's Brace. While Storm Trance is equipped, now grants Bolt Charge for arc ability hits, while amplified though. Okay, so that's a good trade-off, or that's a good way to balance it. Storm Chance damage bonus is now builds on hits instead of kills. Increased max count to compensate. Now needs 30 hits to cap. Top end damage bonus is unchanged. I mean, yeah, you're actually able to use this on bosses now. We're going back to Storm Trance meta again. Yeah, listen, I'm a big fan of that. Winter's Guile. Melee and finisher final blows deck grant bonus melee damage. Melee's final blows grant 1 stack. Finishers grant 3 stacks. Max is 10 stacks for 4 times melee damage. Stacks are lost one at a time and they last 4.5 seconds each stack. Once you reach 10 stacks, immediately gain 1 melee charge and enter the Warlord's Rage when you activate your melee ability. You have 10 seconds to activate the Warlord's Rage. While in the Rage, increased melee regen, faster melee speed, melee damage bonus is 5 times. This is actually like the fantasy of being able to just melee targets. Hasn't been Warlock's strong suit, but with Winter's Guile, this is gonna be silly. I am excited for this. Man, this actually is like cementing in my mind that I'm gonna be playing Warlock next season. Matadoxia. Warlocks has asked for a super div. Oh my god, good golly. Warlocks have asked for a super damaging exotics along the sides of Curious or Nighthawk. We believe that this is less interesting as an effect for a brand new exotic, that we can extend look as this as a new piece of a pre-existing one. After all, what is Needle Storm if not a bunch of supercharged arc needles? PS, look for more Needle Storm in the upcoming Renegades ability tuning article next week. Hitting a target with 5 Needle Storm super projectiles will also activate the Stylistic Suspending Burst. The burst caused by this super damage deals radically increased damage to all targets caught in the radius. This burst should allow Needle Storm feel like a damage contender with the likes of Curious Thunder Crash. Mind blowing. So yes, I agree. Curious, yeah, because like having a thing like Star Eater scales for Warlock, for example, when the prismatic class item already exists, doesn't make sense. However, just like Nighthawk is only applicable to Golden Gun and Curse is only applicable to Thunder Crash, Metadoxia is only going to be applicable to your Needle Storm, which is good. I'm a big fan of this. It gives Warlocks a big chunk button, and once again, this is just solidifying my wish and want to just play Warlock next season. Okay. Dawn Chorus. This one's a spoiler for next week's ability tuning article. They're buffing Solar Warlock's Daybreak super damage by 20% and letting Daybreak scorch targets by default. Essentially, you're shifting some of the Dawn Chorus functionality into the base super. The end result is a Dawn Chorus plus Daybreak damage being increased by 5%. The combo will now allow you to cause ignitions with a single projectile. Wow. And with our new exotic universe ornaments feature coming a Renegading looking like a bug while doing is now optional. So yeah, basically, Daybreak is getting buffed, period. So if you combine Daybreak with Dawn Chorus, effectively speaking, you're getting an additional 5% on top of the additional damage that Daybreak is already going to be giving you. So it just makes your Daybreak stronger and your total scorch stacks increase. So each hit from the Dawn Chorus now triggers one scorch detonation. And apart from that, you know, you can stack them. Total scorch stacks are increased. Wow. This was a huge article in terms of balance changes. Hunter's got the shit end of the stick right here. I'm just gonna say it out loud. I'm gonna wait until next week before committing to playing Warlock for Renegades. However, it's looking like I better learn to well skate. I better learn to well skate at this point. Like, yeah, well, stay tuned for learning how to well skate because I've never done it before. Besides that, huge ability article. I'm going to put it in the description if you want to watch it for yourself. I hope you all enjoyed this breakdown, my thoughts on it. Please let me know what you think in the description down below. Personally, Hunter's lost. The least impressive buff is Orpheus Rig. Orpheus Rig definitely is the loser in all of this. I think the biggest winner in all of this definitely is Warlocks, like, but with the exception of Briarbinds, everything else, like, they got 3 new changes to make supers better. Storm Dancer is going to be better, Needlestorm is going to be better, and Dawnblade is going to be better. That is actually insane. Like, Warlocks are the clear winner here, okay? So, besides that, I want to thank each and every one if you're watching. Like I said, leave a like, comment down below, let me know what you agree on. If you think that you have an exotic that you want to be changed, let me know. Maybe I can, you know, talk to somebody on the armor team and get your exotic buffed in the next balance changed. And yeah, take care, like, subscribe, peace out. You know, you matter to somebody, all my usual things. All right, take it easy, everybody.